Okay, nobody's watching. Let's see. Testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. Okay. 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 Let's see. Is this working? Okay. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, and as you'll see immediately, they will use that interference in their technology that they just had access to spin the narrative of this whole stream from the start. But I'm not going to allow them to run their counterintelligence propaganda in the comments or whatever. I'm not. I'm just going to. Okay, I'm just going to document it pretty much and go from there because it's the same uh, wagon wheel or merry-go-round loop they're on all the time with the same diversion tactics. Anything to ignore, holding Fluffy accountable for committing felony fraud. And funny enough, isn't it chief handler in this fake theatric of a so-called community that is always wanting to hold other so-called TIs accountable for their crimes. He's going to throw up their mugshot, throw up their mugshots, throw up their address, throw up their crimes, right? Wouldn't you believe that Chief Handler would want to expose somebody guilty of criminal slash felony fraud and or etc.? I mean, quite laughable, really, to even imagine that that would be allowed even that would even be allowed. It's just their mask and illusion crumbling in real time because yeah, and I mean, I'm not even talking to people at this point. I mean, everybody watching right now is one of them. So I mean, maybe this might reach one or two people if I'm lucky, but I mean, just got to plant the seed of truth somewhere. Otherwise, who else is going to do it? Because it seems like nobody is willing to step up to the plate to actually expose what's serious and needs to be exposed. And frankly, I'd rather be on vacation right now, relaxing somewhere and recovering from this nightmare world. Yet, you know, of course, yeah, this is a repetitive and not the most fun type of content to make, but definitely I'm not going, or definitely, it just shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed to manipulate and control people that are suffering, people that have been suffering now for decades, and even from birth, obviously. So they shouldn't be allowed. They shouldn't be allowed to continue manipulating and lying and mind controlling innocent humans anymore. It's not morally, right on just a universal level. It's just wrong. So um, yeah, if they're gonna make the whole world into some fucking theater, then I'm gonna hold them accountable as to why. See, and that he's just gonna flood the comments with this propaganda. Yeah, see, it's just gaslighting, is what it is. It's counterintelligence interference. That's why he is flooding the comments like this with emojis. It's not genuine emotion. Rather, what it is propaganda. And I won't personally allow that in the comment sections over here anymore going forward. So I hope you've had your good day with that. But yeah, you definitely uh, see now it's the gaslighting and the those type of like tactics that are intended to wear down the target and make them doubt themselves. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just a kind of crazy gaslight. I don't even know. I can already see what it says though. I just saw the first thing about AI, and it says it's basically implying that I think I'm smarter than I am for using AI or whatever. When this whole time all I've been using is learning tools such as, or that's what anybody's been using, or these learning tools such as books, encyclopedias, technology. Eventually, how they rolled out their technological state, so to speak, in the last, say it's been a good, since 1991, I believe that's when the internet started. So, well, I'd say in large part, 2008, but with the rollout of the smartphones and stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and document this real quick and all that. Document your harassment and all that real quick. And just if you could kindly leave me alone or stop spreading propaganda, gaslighting, narcissistic abuse, or whatever it is. I don't even know. It's basically just CIA shaming tactics. Yet you're here to watch the streams. It's funny, you know. Um, you people that claim to hate me and stuff. Like I don't watch their shit. I mean, not anymore. I can't even bother listening to the bullshit. I'll just download their transcript and maybe stuff like that. But it's just like not entertaining. It's much like watching television reports. Very boring. And I hate to say boring, but it is quite boring when you recycle the same propaganda over and over again. So, yeah, just saying. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, maybe I didn't mean to hide Jedi there. I just think I meant to delete his message, or I can. Yeah, either way, I'm not going to allow the gaslighting propaganda in the comments anymore. If you have an argument to make about bluffing, committing felony fraud / criminal acts, uh, and or etc., that'd be nice. Yeah, to hold this whole fake Masonic theatrics accountable. Yes, and of course, today getting into the Donovan situation, right? So Mr. Dono Bozo. I mean, how can I put this? I mean, Don O. Van, Don O. Van. You're very disrespectful, Don O. Van, and you're definitely an insane, narcissistic psychopath or something to be running this type of operation. You know, that's just my opinion. But I do think it's an opinion that's based in logic, and reasoning from the world of physical sciences. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. I mean, you can take it or leave it, but I'm not going to allow them in any case, to spread their bullshit in the comments any longer. If they want to have an argument about Luffy or whatever, you know, you're going to have to, or Donovan, or the whole situation, you know, you're going to have to come at me with some respect, and you need to kind of come to me with a logical foundation rather than gaslighting and narcissistic manipulation. So I would greatly appreciate that if possible. And, you know, just trying to hold PSYOP agents and pretty much criminals accountable for what they did. Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable thing to do. I mean, that used to be one of Chief Handler's calling card, so to speak. That stupid CC expression. Well, you can't even escape their fucking lingo. It's literally programmed into the psychology of the individuals. You know, it's just unfucking believable. It's like a never-ending web of their stench and shit. And but yeah, that was Chief Handler's whole ordeal. Was like, oh, I'm gonna hold these dangerous criminals accountable and all that bullshit. And now what is he doing? Playing stupid. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? For 2 years straight, you know, some particular people were making videos about that individual every day, but he magically now all of a sudden doesn't know who that is, because that's completely illogical and something is 100% not adding up with that type of logic there. So, you know, I know the people viewing the stream tonight are not going to like this content, obviously, because they hate me and they hate what I've been talking about lately. And it's not my fault that somebody created a mugshot psyop, and it's not my fault somebody committed a psyop, felony fraud, or criminal bullshit, fake hoax bullshit. That's not my problem. That's your problem, and you should be held accountable for that. And you shouldn't be able to manipulate and psychologically torture people like that. But whether you get held accountable or not, you know, that's not for me to say. I'm not going to be the one to judge. I'm not going to be the one that holds anybody accountable. I'm not in a position of authority or power to do that. But as I make these videos one by one, you know, it plants that seed of truth. So if even one or two or just a few people watch these videos, the illusion begins to shatter in real time. So that's why I'm doing this, and I'll continue to do this. And they're trying to sweep everything under the rug to the best they can. And I'm going to just say enough, you know, I think it's enough of people getting away with crimes. I think it's enough of these real agents of harassment and, you know, basically psychologically and physically torturing the real ones, the real humans, real targets, and all that their whole life. That's all this is. It's just one big bullcrap lie. And see, now that they can't run their propaganda, they leave the stream. So now only one person was watching. So now they're going to do two people, because I was about to expose it, because only one person was watching once I blocked their comments, because they only want to put that propaganda out in the comments to try to control the narrative through gaslighting, through fake humor. But it's just a mask. I mean, that's not who they really are. I mean, Night Tiger, for instance, he's probably got a pretty high IQ, if I had to imagine. Definitely, you know, not low IQ as he presents himself. But that's only the character, just as the character of the Rain Man, or what was his name, Dustin Hoffman, or whatever, who played that character, the Rain Man. It was just a character. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. And people propagate his fake mask is reality. It's just another layer of the illusion. That's all that is. When you see it for what it is, it's quite fucking laughable. But yeah, anybody can play dumb. Yeah, but there was a famous video, I believe, come to think of it, video. And have you noticed lately, if I'm not mistaken, Night Tiger's Jedi is starting to sound a lot more articulate. He's not saying stuff like video, it's like enunciating certain vocal tones. But what more can I say? I mean, he just doesn't sound as stupid as he used to. He sounds a lot more cold. He sounds a lot more calculated and definitely a lot more, cunning than he used to be. And there's just no way to, I mean, that's my interpretation of it, but I'm sure they'll just gaslight in the comments and say, well, he really is stupid. He really does get a crazy check, but I don't believe it. I believe that as much as I believe Robbie, Big Robbie from the day, December 1/4, 2012, 2012. You know what that was? A psyop, just like this fucking fake T, like TI fake community on here. All these are just characters running Masonic scripts. I mean, some people get it, but now, for the people that don't get it, now they can see 100% with receipts, with actual receipts and logical connections, that it is all bullshit, 100%. And Don O. Vans, see, I kind of got off track there for a second. I apologize for that for any of the real ones listening. But the Don O. Van shit, Don O. Van, oh yeah, the fake pictures, right? The fake Don O. Van story, one single news clip from KOAT bullshit. The living legend, 6'6". I mean, is this like a character from WWE, like the big one, like Big Dono coming to the stage to perform, tall, intimidating, deep voice, real man, masculine, high IQ, controlling the narrative, controlling the space, but never actually taking accountability or holding other people accountable because it's only a mask. And that's what I imagine killed Hulk Hogan inside. If you are to believe the character of Hulk Hogan, coming home to see yourself as nothing more than a puppet, nothing more than, some kind of like tool of some Satanist or whatever to destroy the world. And you come home and you have to look at yourself in the mirror when the mask is off. You have to tell yourself, this isn't right. If you are to subscribe to such beliefs, of course, I know all the lodge system shows, let's just say, out there watching this, and they hate this very much. And I could really care less if you leave any hateful, manipulative, gaslighting, propaganda comments on this channel from now on. It will be deleted. It will be documented, and that's all it can be going forward. Now that you so-called people have taken off your masks and revealed the true intentions, because you can keep running the same scripts on stupid YouTube until the end of time, and I'm completely fine on some level with everybody just can do whatever they want now, but the illusion is over. The seed of truth has been planted no matter how much it's been tried. They have tried in the last few weeks to suppress it, but now that the seed of truth has been planted, for the real ones, they'll never be able to unsee it, and then they'll spread the word, and yeah, and just more people will drop out of your fake illusion that you've created on here through Masonic theatrics and endless lies and endless psychological and physical torture. And that's what it's all, ultimately is what's being revealed right now, is that it's all bullshit. And yeah, it is confirmed that, like if he wanted to, he could just go on ahead and debunk everything I've said, which I hope he does. Honestly, let's give him his best attempt at trying to do that. I encourage him, to really try and do that. I do, but instead of that, he's just piggybacked on some Stephen Adams meme, and who would really want to even attach their name to Stephen Adams? That's a real human that isn't a Luciferian Satanist Freemason at this point, as he is a open. Um, oh shoot! I think somebody what is that called? Oh yeah, the thing, the PDF file, the link that you send people, right? That's what I meant, right? Oh, but he is actually, uh, let's say, what was that big thing that leaked in late 2016, right? Oh yeah, the dough. Wait, wasn't there a wait? It had to do with pizza, right? That thing that leaked in late 2016. What was it called? Yeah, what was it called? What did that prove? And you know how many people dropped out of society after 2016 or 2015? It's a lot of people. It's a lot more than you think. So, yeah, hopefully anybody real left, I don't even know anymore. I hope they, obviously they will. I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's inevitable. I mean, evil is going to lose ultimately, but that's just my take on it. I 100% believe that, and I believe that truth will shine bright, and I do believe that ultimately they will be held accountable in this realm and beyond. Because I mean, this is just straight out evil, manipulative, and just it destroys people's entire psychology. It breaks all of their dreams. Yeah, unless I mean, and there are people that have lived their entire lives in this delusion, just walking through the waking dream, uh, fake reality, thinking that their life was something real when it was just a complete delusion. But they walked through it thinking it was real because of these fake psyop actors and, what they're able to accomplish through propaganda. So, in the case of Big Don O or whatever, the WWE persona that he plays on the internet with his fake text that would go across the screen at the bottom, like some kind of like news update, like breaking news, targeted pattern is breaking news, Matrix Decoded is breaking news, Toby is breaking news. Just so fucking dumb, man. You should really get a life, man. And the AI said you are not, in fact, 6'6". So interestingly enough, even that height persona is another illusion. Maybe if you stood next to LeBron James or something, he might be something closer to 6'5.5", or they could even shave. They could give the illusion of more height even with shoes. So, and it's just all an illusion, anyways. In general, the thing is that they create, through their Masonic propaganda, the idea of this genetic superiority, the chosen. It's like we are the greatest. Uh, but no, you're just a bunch of cheaters. You cheated big time. Um, you broke so many people's dreams. You took everything they ever hoped for and left nothing more than reoccurring thoughts in their head that aren't the most positive. Let's just call it what it is. It is a form of psychological abuse or trauma that does infect the minds of the real ones. That now these feds have created a fake term called trauma bonding to justify mocking those that are trying to detox years of psychological abuse. So it's not right, and I do think Don OPOS should be held accountable for his PSYOP that he ran. And now I wanted to say that he, filed the complaint, the privacy thing. It failed, so now he filed. No, he upped the so-called theatrics here with the legal thing, right? You know what I mean? It's not very effective because he really is on a similar intelligence level to Butthead, and I do believe that a targeted Patton is probably being quite honest with that assessment there, because he probably knows the real Donovan. Donovan probably really is just a complete brain damaged buffoon or something, and he's like the class or the town. What do they call that? The jester of the town, the town drunk. Yeah, that's what they used to call the few homeless people that existed before the fake implosion. Well, it is a real implosion of society. So yeah, there used to not be that many homeless, but there used to just be a couple crazies or whatever they called them. They were kind of strung out on drugs, but maybe some of them probably just saw through the illusion earlier than others and opted out of the pyramid scam, which is this Masonic overlay of a fake society. So, yeah, that would be the purpose of making these particular videos. So, yeah, I hope, and maybe, yeah, hopefully going forward, I can make more live streams such as these, get the word out, because I think these streams will reach at least some people, when they see the live banner or whatever. No more gas propaganda in the comments. You're gone, chief handler. If you wanna, oh yeah, actually, I'm just gonna get your comment here. Clip your comment real quick. Just gonna get this clipped real quick here. I think I got that. I think I got it. Crazy. All right. Nope, not angry. Just documenting your harassment. Actually, real quickly here. Let me just get this. I'll go ahead and hide you from the channel now. Have a good day, you psychopathic idiot. Okay. Well, actually, he's not even an idiot. He's just, he's just running counterintelligence. I mean, I can't even take it personally anymore. Like, I can't even take it personally anymore because who even are these people? They're just fucking wearing some weird satanic mask where they pretend to smile in front of the public and they throw up their pyramid and they throw up their signs, and then behind closed doors, it's like Obama down in those dungeons all over again from 2016 when all that was being leaked. And they'll come on here and pretend to be religious or anything. They'll come on here and pretend to be, what do you call it? Holier than thou, or they'll just profess any belief that's so-called moral. They'll just say anything. They'll say any lie. It's unbelievable. And they are psychopaths. Some of them are definitely, different types of species. I do believe that 100%. And that's fine if some people don't believe that. But, I definitely believe there's a darker and deeper intelligence driving what they're doing, and it's definitely, you know, something akin to a Satan. So they're definitely evil, and they're definitely created this fake Masonic overlay where they play every side, where they play every good cop, or they play every bad cop, and that's their game. So that's their whole shtick here. That's the whole lesson from the beginning of this channel, anyways. You know, the nerve is demon terror. You know, what it proves is that they were all running counter intelligence and interference to defend one of the biggest assets in the room, Nerve Gorilla, who now, you know, stupid, absent-minded Abe has been propping up for months, if not a year plus, as some kind of genius, you know, rational-minded, scientifically grounded. Oh, everything he does is based in, you know, intelligent hard sciences and this Masonic lie of genetic superiority. And wow, he is the chosen one. Nerve Gorilla is the smartest of them all. How could anybody be smarter than Nerve Gorilla? And that's the illusion, is that, you know, they want you to believe that they are the billionaires, they are the chosen ones, they are, you know, the Larry Birds and the Michael Jordans and the Tiger Woods and all this kind of idea. You know, like that is just all an illusion. Those are just actors, just as the actors in the fake TI spaces that's now being exposed is nothing more than Masonic theater. But unfortunately, this theater bleeds into real life, and it actually psychologically traumatizes and destroys people, manipulates people, and it never shows them the truth. It just tells them they'll always be stuck suffering in this bullshit forever. Nobody will ever be held accountable. The system is untouchable, even though, as we can see, it's imploding in real time, you know, physically and in the minds of the people who have seen through this illusion of this fake society. So many people have dropped out, so many people, and so many good men, especially in society, have dropped out, and a lot of good women have dropped out as well. So that is the truth, and you know, if there are, you know, some people will just tell me or gaslight me, but maybe there are some good people out there. I mean, I do believe they're around. I just believe they surround targets with fake, evil people, and that's just generally how it is. And it's unfortunate, and I wish it wasn't that way, but it seems like almost everybody in my whole life, at least the ones that I think they just surrounded me with fake people my whole life. And I saw some real people, I think, in school that were genuinely poisoned. I'll just say his name was, you know, Craig right now, to not give away too many details, but let's just say he had a bad condition with his eyes and they couldn't stop moving back and forth. And he was one that was truly poisoned, I believe, with these injections, and all of his dreams were destroyed. He never had a girlfriend. He never had friends, really. And he was a recluse his whole life. And there are many other real people that are damaged, maybe not on such a severe level, obviously, but definitely there are many that are damaged in so many ways, in so many different ways that you couldn't even imagine. I mean, just imagine the floor falling out from underneath you and you develop an autoimmune disease, and overnight you're no longer able to digest fats or whatever. You're not able to. Your organs just start basically shutting down, and that's the life that real humans went through. But there was this other class of individuals that were protected by witches, warlocks, and probably one could imagine some reptilians, possibly. And they took all their dreams away. These fake individuals, they took away the dreams of the real ones, but what they left behind was the illusion of genetic superiority, superior intelligence. It's all an illusion. They weren't intelligent. They weren't better. They were just protected and sheltered. And they showed this to me in my own life. where they took me to meet the rich people that live next to the richest of the rich. And they tried to give me a window into their world. And I ultimately rejected that shit. And I can just see how evil they are. The mask I saw slip when this so-called fake friend and or acquaintance of mine slapped the face of their worker, which was really a slave. So I've seen it. I've seen the worst. And yeah, it's not right to treat people like they're in some kind of caste system and put them under remote control and mind control and poison and lie their whole life. And then if you even try to crawl your way out of this bullshit, they just, do the program and they surround you with fake individuals, phony fake individuals that are full of fake news. And that's what they do. That's what they do. So they can go ahead and spin this any way they want, but at the end of the day, they're a bunch of liars and cheaters, and they should be held accountable. Dawn O. Van protecting fake, Fluffy the Narc Slayer, and her felony fraud. That is what is not being addressed by Don O. Van. All Don O. Van is doing is spreading hate videos and street theater. That's all Don O. Van is doing. And all Toby is doing is deflection, diversion, and theatrics. And yeah, magically, a few weeks ago, they said they were going down to the station. They were going to file the report. I was going to be behind bars so soon. It's going to be held accountable, right? And all that proves is that anybody that ever says that to another target, it's all fake, Masonic intimidation theater. It's just psychological warfare. It's not real. Because the moment I exposed what the real deal was, the fake docs and the fake mugshot, the mugshot style, it revealed they're all bullshit. Their threats are empty and hollow. It's all bark, and it's absolutely no bite physically, but like a psychotronic weapon of some kind. It does actually hurt the psyche of the brain. So I know it's very sad to think. And I want to say thank you so much to the two people out there that gave this live stream a thumbs up. I love you so much, and I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate it. That is amazing to even have two people that appreciate the truth. That is special. That is rare, and this shit is insane. This program is insane, and this program is shit. And Don O. Van, according to the AI, is not 6'6", but what he is, in fact, is covering for Bluffy the Narc Slayer's felony fraud, interestingly enough. And in addition to that, Toby and Night Tiger, the fake Night Tiger that pretends to be a moron on the internet, but then he goes back in that dungeon at the Victorian house, right? Probably goes down in the tunnels, right, that are connected to their network. And, they can go ahead and, oh my God, that's so absurd. That's not, well, Elon Musk disagrees with you. So you kind of lose your validity there just a bit. And when other so-called powerful people, billionaires maybe, or other figureheads start calling this system out for what it is, yeah, you don't really have much of a leg to, so-called lean on in that case. But getting back to the point, Toby and Night Tiger, the fake, are not holding Bluffy accountable. The day I dropped the docs video, what did they do? No longer did they tell me to cease and desist. No longer did they tell me they were going down to the station not just all stopped overnight and they said, oh, actually, we shouldn't we shouldn't hold Luffy accountable because scary and reasons, but no evidence, no receipts, just a bunch of stories and frankly a bunch of lies. And it's truly disgusting that this is the state of the world right now. It's very wicked and vile, and I think even it says in the Bible that things would be like this at some point in mass delusion, that evil would be called good and good would be called evil, and the mask would truly slip, is what we're seeing right now. That's why I'm seeing certain behaviors, like, openly threatening, openly, lying, openly BSing, and basically they're caught with their pants down as frauds. It's all actor clowns, and it's hilarious. And the one linchpin, I guess, that held their fake structure together was that Luffy, the Narc Slayer, and Dono's the Legend of Dono. The Legend of Dono. It goes back to 2001 with Dono. Report, just one sentence. Oh, Dono offed a man that didn't have a residence, according to random report. Well, there were a lot of random reports on Sandy H, weren't there? With fake Big Robbie and his fake uh, crocodile tears, but his big wide smile before taking the camera. So, yeah, all of that has not been forgotten. And that is what the TI community is in a nutshell. Just fake news. Just like that fake KTOA report or whatever bullshit news affiliate site, which Nerve Gorilla said that he actually has a lot of trust in newspapers. And that's one of Donald's heroes. He's like so smart. And when they did their fake theatrics with fake Ed, the actor that pretends to argue with his big little bro or whatever, however that is. I mean, he's definitely the more heavier of the brothers. And fake Ed did a fake skit in the comments or something like that, or in the comments, I can't remember. But he basically said he was like one of these foids on r/whatever, like black, red pill, or whatever, and just posting this shit like so tall, like just complete theatrics to build up the character, just like before Hulk Hogan would take the stage. There would be hype men, right? Hype men for rappers, hype men for wrestlers. It's the same thing. They're just using these psychological tools, through what's called social media, which is really nothing more than a guise for DARPA technology that has been being sold or marketed to the population as consumer electronics, which is it's nothing more than spyware. But yeah, that's the crux of the situation. And yeah, they're making a little bit of sound outside. It sounds like they're making sound on the roads, they're making sound in the air, but it's just a lot of sound. I think it's definitely temporary, the sound, and it goes away. But sometimes it's almost like they go in a circle sometimes. I just can't be 100% sure if they do that, because it's like maybe the same team of paid psychopathic masons or just lodge system shills are just driving in the same circles all day to create the illusion of something that never existed. And that is the crux of this psyop of society. Because they literally see the non-targets as undesirables, literally shit. And addressing anybody else that might have a problem with me, just ask yourself. I mean, here, I think I lost my train of thought because I forgot what I was going to say. Let me see if I can remember it again. Okay, they're kind of distracting me a little bit with some sounds outside. Or they're not doing that. That's just allegedly. It's just a random plane or helicopter and random cars and dirt bikes and random lawnmowers and leaf blowers and all that. It's just stuff happening, right? Okay, but what was I going to say? Oh well, I kind of forgot what I was going to say for now, and hopefully I can remember it later. If there's a real person in the comments that could help me remember for a second, because I just lost my train of thought temporarily, and it does happen, and I do apologize for that. And anyways, I want to just say I really do thank the two people again out there that liked this stream. It means a lot to me. I hope those are real thumbs up too, and I hope it's I do think it's real because I don't think the stalkers or whatever, fakes or whatever would do it at this point. So I do appreciate it, and shoot, what more can I say? It doesn't look like they want to do their. It looks like they've given up on their agenda that they had for the comments section tonight. They wanted me to like argue with them, maybe back and forth, or entertain their time wasting bull crap. But nope, nope, they're not going to allow that to be posted on this channel anymore. But I did gladly document it, so I did gladly document it. So all I want to be is left alone, and I think any real target could say the same with regards to being surrounded and stuff. But yeah, anyways, yeah, it's it's a quiet comment section when you're real target and stuff like that. Nobody's in the comments, just a couple lurkers, and yeah, it is intended to be like a form of psychological torture, so to speak. Well, the same thing applies to their industrial corporate prison system in regards to social isolation for serious crimes in their mind, which are it's just bullshit for the most part. A lot of it is just either staged, or a lot of it is either it's just basically them manipulating, poisoning people, confusing people, and then some people lash out. Maybe they drink too much one day, and then they're in the corporate prison system making profits and free labor for the state, and all that through illusions. Through people believing in their bullshit, just like people believing in this fake TI community, right? But that's the intention of it all, to destroy people's lives, pretty much. But the real ones, puppet string masters, the ones when they take their mask off and they go to those, eyes wide, SHUT stuff, when they do that, that's different. And they literally showed the mask in that movie. And yeah, Stanley Kubrick is for sure an American hero for making it painfully obvious that the so-called landings of that Apollo BS were fake, and yeah, definitely shattered their illusions in a sense, and made it glaringly, just made it painfully obvious that obviously fake NASA, fake news, So, but yeah, I mean, look at them all just go silent. Very revealing. But yeah, let's go through it again. Don O. Van is covering for Fluffy the Narc Slayer's felony, fraud, and or criminal actions. Yeah, Why has he not addressed this at all? It's interesting. There's been a lot of videos that have dropped, and all they can do is hide behind diversion tactics, gaslighting, appeals to AI, AI this, AI that. Well, you've been using YouTube this and Google that and laptop this, Microsoft this. What do you think you're doing? Do you know what a learning tool is? Of course, they know what a learning tool is. They are, in their minds, the chosen ones, the ones that get to have preserved health, perfect bodies. We get to have developed bodies. We get to have girlfriends and families and good paying jobs for clicking a keyboard a couple times. 200,000 a year. Yeah, but it only exists as superiority in a Masonic delusion theater hell realm that they've created, a stage set, which is places like New York City or Los Angeles or Chicago. These are stage sets that the Masons operate. So yeah, the illusion of Al Kapo in what's the last letter? In the 1929, let's just say Cupid, MASS, you finish the rest. Hoax. Al, Big Al got lit up, right? It's bullshit. Mob never went away. That's why they blatantly put it in your face through terms like GANG. What's that word that starts with an S? Oh, yeah. All right. What is that? STAL. Oh, it couldn't be stalking, right? But do they put it blatantly in your face like that through that hit propaganda PSYOP piece that was released on Vice first, right? That's when the PSYOP began. The official gang stalking PSYOP began. And imagine those two people in the comments, man. Imagine those two people in the comments, or what, and the live that are watching right now. Imagine, but shoot, here, kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. I was going to make definitely a coherent and logical point, but sometimes when it gets a little late at night, you start kind of forgetting a couple of things. You start you start kind of losing. Like I'm not addicted to any like bent stuff or like speed or anything like that that would make me stay up until 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I mean, like I can't do it anymore. I try my best, and that's all that is. That's all that is when you forget something. When you forget something for a second. But the main point to remember here is Don O. Van, the fake 6'6" man, faked photos in a psyop and is covering for Bluffy, the narc slayer's felony fraud, which proves that the entire linchpins of the fake Masonic TI community are a hoax, which means that that program is real. That's the logical conclusion. Because if the psyop of this fake community is real, then the program is real. Because if they're fake, the program is real. That's as simple as it is. And I think I addressed Donovan and Bluffy and Night Tiger and Toby all covering for each other because remember, Toby said that she was going to hold Bluffy the Narc Slayer accountable. She was threatening me a few weeks ago that she was going to report my channels at the police place, apparently, allegedly. Well, actually, they recorded themselves doing it. So, yes, it was actual physical theatrics there in that sense, and intimidation theater 100%, because they never followed through with that once it was proven by advanced learning analytics that the docs were bullshit. And therefore, you have the golden ticket. But what it proves is that you never really wanted to hold Luffy accountable. All you wanted to do was run interference and intimidation theater and psyops. That's all that proves logically. And that cannot be debated because nobody that's real would risk that would go through a year and a half of drama and fake, legal case. Like that doesn't make any logical sense. And for all of them to hype it up like that for a year and a half proves that, it's all fake because they go against what they said 3 weeks ago. So there you go. And they're done because they can't run their stupid theater in the comments anymore. They're just going to have to download the transcript or get the next objective from their handler as far as what to do with me or about this whole situation. And yeah, they can go ahead and dox me. Oh yeah, the last thing, the thing with the doxing, I will say this much, Joey No Smiles has my docs and he came on my channel, and it's weird that it seems like he's kind of, I don't know. It's just, I thought he was somebody that used Chat GPT or other advanced learning tools to analyze, fakery. Like I thought he was doing that to, analyze fakery, I guess. I don't know. But he has my docs, and this other guy has my docs. So he can go ahead and, go ahead and do that if he wants. It's his choice. I think it's a crime. I think it is a crime, but I wouldn't even flag it down or seek any type of legal anything, even if that happened. Because what's more important to me is that that would exist as a piece of evidence in history that I really was a whistleblower or whatever, like leaking information. And they were trying to silence me through intimidation and threats. And that's how they work pretty much. But I mean, of course, Chief Handler, for instance, he loves to dox. Nerve Gorilla, he loves to dox. He did when he was still around, but I, really destroyed his illusion that he tried to present as much as absent-minded Abe, tried to run counter interference and counterintelligence for Nerve Gorilla in the sense that he kept propping him up as a very intelligent and a very reasonably spoken man of hard physical sciences and logic. But when I dropped these videos and broke that illusion, he went, MIA and went back to just talking about irrelevant World of Warcraft, which he said he was done with, if I remember correctly, originally. So he said he was done with World of Warcraft, but then he went right back to it once he couldn't explain how the news is fake through people like Big Robbie and his big smile on that day in 2012, right? So that broke the illusion. And they can't run their propaganda, but yeah, go ahead and dox me or whatever you want to do. Go ahead and do whatever, And I can't even give a good opinion on what to even think about the whole situation with that right now, to be honest with you. because frankly, that type of threat is so like crazy and serious, and at such a critical time right now. But I mean, I guess presumably, if they do want to try to silence the truth, that would be a tool that they might use as a form of intimidation. But you know, they can go through with whatever they want. It's all documented at this point. Um, Fact remains that Luffy is a felony fraud or a criminal, either or. And Donovan hyped up the legend. Ed hyped up the legend of Donovan. And I don't know. I don't know if they really truly believed I was just some stupid kid or something, or I'm not sure what they believed, to be honest. Whatever the handler told them, they just wore a mask and pretended. Yeah. But that's the truth. The criminals, Luffy, and all that, and I would say I believe their accomplices are too. But going to have to do some more research, obviously, into them. But I mean, I think the heaviest stuff has already been dropped. Um, yeah, and I'll be 100% honest. Logically, with that other channel, the other channel that was exposing infiltrators, I really just surprised in a sense, but I guess I hurt their feelings by not by being sleep deprived or whatever, and just not really being able to focus very well and read well. They got hurt, their feelings, and I never intended to hurt anybody's feelings. But I mean, if that's really what it is, I'm genuinely, sorry if that's what it is, But the thing it's just strange to me, the optics of, when the biggest stuff is being released, the biggest stuff is being released, you know. I really think that this whole fake TI community and fake propaganda against real targets on the internet is one of Satan's biggest assets as far as discrediting people. And I think to expose it for what it really is, nothing more than fake damage CIA damage control with actors. I think it'd be important to finally break that illusion so that even the most simplest minded or dumbed down, even, and I'm not trying to be derogatory or anything here, but I'm talking in basic facts here. People have been poisoned to such an extent that they have enormous brain fog and they cannot connect dots together logically because of the extensive amount of poison, because it creates brain fog, their technology too. So you forget things and then misremember things, and they inject thoughts into people's heads. Let's just say allegedly, or well, it is what it is. And the fact of the matter is, I never tried to hurt anybody on the internet. I just wanted to find like-minded people and hopefully friends that I could relate to. But the fact is that it seems like the infiltration and mind control and propaganda is so bad that it's actually a physical impossibility on some level. But I tried to, I talked with many people on Discord. I talked with many people on Telegram, and none of them seem. I mean, I'm not sure. It seems like pretty much almost all of them don't like me, but yet they wanted to talk to me for a long time, and logically, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't talk to people that I don't like. So, yeah, I never talked to people that I didn't like. So it's illogical. And I just don't understand it. But go ahead, and I guess if you feel like you want to put all my details out there, go ahead and I guess do it. I can't stop you at this point. But I mean, you would be, in my opinion, revealing, that is chief handler and nerve gorilla type behavior, just so to speak. And yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit tired here because I'm a real target. I get tired after speaking for an hour straight. Yeah, I'm a real target that's tired because I'm not a protected lodge asset. I'm actually pretty tired and worn out. So thank you for joining tonight, any of the real ones, and any of the fake ones, the lodge system shows. Yeah, just you all are complete filth in my mind. As of now, your actions are disgusting, and it's really sad what's happening in this world. So, and I really hope that Donovan, the fake big man, is held accountable for his fake pictures, and I hope Fluffy, the fake, is held accountable for her fake docs psyop. So, thank you.